So you have done degree with psychology?
Yes.
Okay. Mine is English.
Ah, all right. Okay. Right. So, how come you chose English? I mean, like, what was your reason to pick up literature?
Actually, I was in a situation that I had no any other option that I could go with, and I thought English is a good option because it improves your communication skills and helps you a lot. So
Yeah.
this was the reason that I opted English.
Right. So, what about now? Are you actually enjoying the subject? Do you like the literature that you're studying in it, or not so much?
Yes, I have pursued post graduation, and I'm satisfied with the subject I went with.
Right. So, are there some novels that you've picked up after like starting to read literature that you really like? I mean, there's Othello and everything in English.
Yes, the
So,
students of literature have to study a lot of plays and novels, and personally, I remember one which is very memorable for me, Wuthering Heights, which
oh,
is the
Wuthering Heights.
only novel of Emily Bronte. I hope you have heard of it.
Yeah. Right. Wuthering Heights is actually pretty cool. It is one of the novels that I like too. It's jam-packed with emotion. There's a lot of drama
Yes,
content. It's good. Overall, it's very sweet. There's a lot of, I mean, many documentaries about it as well, like about Wuthering Heights.
yes, yes.
They're also pretty fun to watch. So yeah, that is one of the best books. But other than that, do you read any of the modern literature?
Modern novelists.
Yeah, any sort of modern literature.
If we talk
Something that's
about
more
if we
contemporary.
talk about Indian novelists, currently we are uh, fond of Chetan Bhagat.
Yeah.
Contemporary time, I think so, and I don't I'm not that fond of him, but
Yeah.
as far as we talk about contemporary Indian novelists, it's enough to tell about him, and many more maybe because I have not gone through the modern novelists of Indian literature, so that I can't tell much about them.
Hmm. What about foreign authors?
Foreign authors, uh,
Yeah.
not in contemporary time. I can tell you who belong to uh, previous era, or you may say
Okay.
post era, like T.S. Eliot. He was a critic and um,
Yeah.
a great playwright as well.
Hmm. Fair enough. Right. Yeah, I think it's just that the older plays and everything, they're very important in literature, but somehow, I mean, somehow the time has gone to read those, so they're not that interesting if somebody just likes to read. In terms of, I mean, doing a degree in English, those are very important because that's where English really comes out of. But I think, yeah, otherwise they're not that fun to read. I don't know. Because, I mean, on a normal day, you would not want to read Shakespeare because the language is not the most enjoyable, I think. So that's that. But yeah, but still, I would like. I do like the stories of the older plays. Like, I mean, there's a lot of plays that I do like that way. But still, for continuous to read, I think contemporary writers are good. So why don't you try contemporary writers like any of the new authors?
Because I am doing my profession and I am busy in it. I don't get that time, and I also prepare for my upcoming exams. Like I am going to attempt a NET exam, and that's why I don't try that. So as you said, I also feel that we are not that familiar with the language of textbooks that are written by foreign novelists in novels, and the major problem I think is that today the students of literature don't go through the entire text. Uh, they only read the summary and go and attempt the exam, and I think this is the weakness, and this is the
Hmm.
problem of the present time. What do you say about it?
I know I agree with it because I have a lot of friends who are from English literature and they're all very avid readers, right? So they do enjoy reading a lot. It's not like very arduous for them to sit down and actually read. That's not a problem. But the thing is that mostly people pick up texts that they are interested in, right? And for the, I would say at least for the Generation Z, at least for the generation, the upcoming generations, I mean, Othello is not something that's very interesting to read,
Yes,
right? On a very honest term. So it's just that that's also a reason why kids don't want to read the entire text because it's not interesting enough, it's not
yes,
stimulating enough. So I feel like if you want children to read the text, especially in terms of English literature, you need to revive the syllabus as well. It has been working for years and years, and nobody brings changes to it. So the material that you're giving them to read, the material that you're teaching them through, that needs to be upgraded a little bit. History of English is an important subject, and I get it. So I mean, some part of older text is important, but other
yes,
than that, I think some modern text should be included so that the newer generations they can feel related to what they are reading.
yes,
Then they would be more interested in actually reading it. Otherwise, the content just becomes very boring, and not just the international content of older times like 18th or 19th century, but even the Indian content from the previous generations that we read, that's also that not that interesting to a lot of people. So I think there needs to be a little bit of upgradation in the course. But yeah, there is a problem. I mean, a lot of students, even if the text is modern, they just don't read. They read the summaries and come to exam. So that is definitely a problem, I think. So that being said, I think there needs to be changes on both sides. Students need to understand that if you are reading a summary and going into the exam, especially for English literature, I think you won't be able to describe a lot because in English literature, most of the answers you are writing are basically a critical analysis, right? So if you really
yes,
want to do analysis of something, you need to know the depths of what the text was. So if they are turning up without reading, then obviously it's their fault. So that's there.
so you're also
But
in
yeah,
favor that we must go through the entire text for deep knowledge and the critical analysis as well.
true.
And at the same time, you also agree that the syllabus must be changed and it must be related to the contemporary time and the students they are reading.
Exactly. I
Okay.
mean, because Othello is not something that we can relate to, right? It's
Yes,
like
yes, I
old
think
as
so.
hell. It's old. Anything that's written in that play is something that doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't mean that it's not credible or it's not important. It is, but it's history of English. There's a lot of
Yes,
recent time political English also
yes,
that's
yes,
going on, and I think it needs to be brought into the syllabus so that kids find it interesting to read more.
yes,
But yeah, that being said, students, I know that some students even after the revival of syllabus they won't read it because they're not in a habit of reading. So I think
yes,
that's where the problem is. If you're taking up something like English, you should develop a habit to read because the more you read, the better it becomes for you to answer in exams or analyze the context that has been given to you.
yes.
So that's also there. Makes sense. So what about you? Like now that you have taken the literature side, is it interesting for you? Are you actually enjoying it, or do you want to shift to something else later on?
Yes, I really like it, and I think that literature is very much connected to our day to day life, and it also inspires us for good things, and it connects us with nature and different things around us. That is why I prefer studying literature.
Yeah, that's true actually. Right. So, are you planning to go ahead with the teaching profession, or do you want to land into the jobs of like editorial or media houses or content writing? Is that something you're looking forward towards, or teaching?
I would love to continue the profession which I am doing, but I'm not that aged. I think I am not 24, so I can pursue any career which I am capable of. So I'm trying, but my final destination, my final aim is to do something good in profession of teaching.
Hmm, that makes sense. Fair enough. Yeah, I think teaching is a good profession. It keeps you connected with the younger generations as well. It's a
Yes,
profession where you actually feel happy. I feel so that way. Yeah, it's interesting to teach. That's there. Makes sense. Fair enough. Right. So, okay. So you're planning to do a PhD now. I'm assuming that now that you're planning to give the net exam, is that so?
Yes, I will go with that. But firstly, I am thinking of cracking NET, which will help me pursue my career. And
Ah,
I am
right.
also teaching the students of literature who are doing
Right.
degree with English. And
Right. So,
I
what
am
college
doing
are you
that.
teaching at?
I am doing that. I teach English. I do that only for my enhancement of knowledge. Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense. Right. So, where are you from? I'm sorry, I didn't collect in the beginning. Like, where are you teaching? Like, what state or city?
I am from Bihar, and currently I am residing in Jharkhand.
Oh, right. So, you're teaching there at college level, I'm assuming.
There is an institute of us. There is a team, and I personally teach English to the students of 11th, 12th, and graduation.
Ah, right. That makes sense. Fair. Right. So yeah, you want to continue with teaching ahead. So are you planning to like get into the colleges and universities as a teacher? Is that so, or do you want to continue with your own?
Yes, as I said, I want to qualify NET exam, and it will help me to get the post of assistant professor, and I would be able to do something revolutionary in the field of education, and I
Right.
would also be able to help the students who have problem doing getting their education and many more things.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I think teaching is one of the most noble professions that's out there.
Yes,
So that's true. You help out yourself and a lot of other people as well. Right. Okay, fair enough. Right. We're at the 55 mark. Before the session gets up, I'll give a very quick feedback. Otherwise, the session just abruptly closes
okay,
off. Right. So, as for the feedback, see, there's not a lot of mistakes that you make while you're using grammar like while you're using English in terms of grammar, at least. In grammars, I would, however, tell you to focus on the preposition part. Right.
okay,
So sometimes the preposition slips out to be incorrect. Other than that, there are no mistakes. Like the tenses are perfect, modals are perfect, all the other parts of speech are going perfectly for you. So no need to worry on that front. Um, yeah, I would do, however, tell you to sort of have more vocab while you're talking. Right. That
yes,
might lead to a better impression as well, and that might help you in discovering a lot more about the language as well,
yes,
right? Because a lot of times it happens like we know the words but we are not able to use them in our speech,
yes,
right? So we have to try and sort of coerce those words in our daily language. For that you can watch English content or like make English a part of your daily routine, right? As in watching English content or listening to English content. That usually helps. If you're into reading, you can do that. Just maybe like, I mean, for somebody like you who already is clear with
yes,
grammar and everything, I would not tell you to watch it for 2 hours each day, but even 15 minutes a day of watching some content in English can be helpful. It just
yes,
gives you a rhythm. It makes you better with pronunciation, and it makes you and gives you an idea about using the words in a proper context, right? So for that sort of thing, you can check out anything like for example YouTube, right? On YouTube, there's a hell lot of videos in English
yes,
that are only 8 to 10 minutes. Usually, those kind of things can also help you out, like watching just two videos, let's say, right? But be consistent about it. Usually, consistency helps more than what you watch.
yes.
So that's it. Apart from that, there are no mistakes that you're doing or no places that you need to worry about.
Thank
Right?
you, and
That,
I would try to do my corrections.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right. And you can check out like programs like Gravitas is there. It's a news program, but it's international news, so it's not very
Yes,
sad or something. 6 7 minute videos. These kind of things can help you out. They have good
yes.
vocab, good pronunciation. That can help you out. But other than that, you're doing perfectly fine.
Okay.
Right? Fair enough. Any doubts that you have before I close?
No, no. Actually, I also feel that vocabulary is the major problem which every speaker faces. So
True.
this is very common, and we can do it with. So fine, I will
That's
work on it, and maybe one day I speak better.
yeah.
And thank you for your feedback.
Fair
And
enough.
okay,
Right.
okay.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you
good
for
day.
joining in. Have a good day. Bye bye.
And